Have you ever seen a single baseball game explode into one of the most talked about stories of the season? What started as an ordinary series finale between the Dodgers and Mets quickly turned into complete chaos. A dramatic comeback, a heartbreaking loss, growing concerns about Shohei Ohtani's health, and then an explosive post-game confrontation that sent shockwaves across Major League Baseball. But what happened next may have been even bigger than the game itself. The Dodgers entered the final game of the series with a chance to complete a sweep. They had already won the first two matchups and looked ready to extend their four-game winning streak. Early on, everything seemed to be going according to plan. Los Angeles built momentum and placed themselves in a strong position to secure another victory. Then everything changed. The Mets refused to quit. Their offense suddenly came alive, while the Dodgers' bullpen completely lost control. What had looked like another comfortable win slowly slipped away inning by inning. New York seized every opportunity, piling on runs and turning the game around in stunning fashion. By the final out, the scoreboard told a painful story. Mets 8. Dodgers 3. For Los Angeles, it wasn't just another regular season defeat. It was a game they believed they should have won. The bullpen collapse erased all of the hard work from earlier innings and snapped the Dodgers' four-game winning streak in frustrating fashion. Normally, that comeback would have dominated every sports headline. Instead, almost nobody was talking about the baseball. Because moments after the game ended, emotions boiled over in a way nobody expected. Players from both teams remained on the field as tension continued to rise. Frustration had been building throughout the series, and suddenly that frustration exploded. According to reports describing the incident, Shohei Ohtani became the center of the confrontation. Several Mets players aggressively approached the Dodgers area, and within seconds, the situation escalated beyond words. Francisco Lindor, Bo Bichette, and Marcus Semien were identified as being directly involved in the altercation. Everything unfolded incredibly fast. Ohtani had almost no time to react before the confrontation became physical. During the chaos, he lost his balance and went down to the ground in visible pain. The sight immediately changed the atmosphere. Dodgers players sprinted toward their superstar without hesitation. Medical staff rushed onto the field to check on him while players from both dugouts poured into the scene. For a few tense moments, it looked as though a full-scale bench-clearing brawl was about to erupt. Umpires and coaching staff desperately tried to separate players before the situation spiraled completely out of control. It took significant effort to restore order. But the damage had already been done. Within minutes, videos and eyewitness accounts spread across social media. Baseball fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. The conversation instantly shifted away from the Mets' comeback victory. Instead, every discussion focused on one question. How could this happen to one of baseball's biggest stars? Dodgers fans demanded severe punishment. Even many neutral baseball fans argued that the behavior crossed every acceptable line of sportsmanship. The pressure on Major League Baseball became impossible to ignore. League officials responded quickly. An emergency investigation was launched almost immediately. MLB reviewed footage from multiple camera angles. Officials examined umpire reports, gathered statements from both organizations, and carefully evaluated every player's role during the confrontation. This wasn't treated like a routine disagreement between competitors. League officials reportedly concluded that the actions involved went well beyond a normal on-field argument. As a result, MLB handed suspensions to Francisco Lindor, Bo Bichette, and Marcus Semien. The decision sent a powerful message throughout baseball. According to the league's position, no player is bigger than the game. Not an all-star. Not a franchise cornerstone. Not a superstar with a massive contract. Violence would not be excused because of reputation or popularity. For MLB, protecting the integrity of the sport mattered more than protecting individual names. The suspensions also created a much larger problem for the Mets organization. Yes, they avoided being swept. Yes, they earned an impressive comeback victory. But almost overnight, those achievements became irrelevant. Instead of celebrating resilience and offensive production, the Mets suddenly faced criticism from every direction. Analysts questioned the team's discipline. Former players debated the culture inside the clubhouse. Fans wondered how emotions had escalated so dramatically. A win that should have restored confidence instead became a public relations nightmare. Many baseball experts suggested the incident reflected the enormous pressure players experience during emotionally charged series. Competition naturally creates frustration. Every hitter struggles. Every pitcher has difficult nights. Every team experiences disappointment. But baseball has always demanded emotional control. The greatest teams respond through execution, not retaliation. The Dodgers present one of the most dangerous lineups in baseball, and Shohei Ohtani remains the player opposing teams fear most every time he steps into the batter's box. Pitchers know one mistake can disappear into the seats. Defenses know one swing can completely change a game. That pressure is real. But the only acceptable response is better baseball. Better pitching. Better defense. Better execution. Not confrontation. Because once violence replaces competition, everybody loses. While the investigation dominated headlines, another concern quietly continued growing inside the Dodgers clubhouse. Shohei Ohtani's health. Even before the post-game incident, questions had already surrounded his physical condition. Late in the ninth inning, Dodgers manager Dave Roberts made a decision that immediately caught everyone's attention. With a runner on first and no outs, Roberts removed Ohtani from the game and sent Alex Call to pinch hit. The move surprised many fans. Naturally, speculation exploded. Was Ohtani's left knee bothering him? Had the Dodgers seen something that worried them? Were they protecting their franchise superstar from making an existing problem even worse? Roberts quickly addressed those questions after the game. He insisted the substitution had nothing to do with Ohtani's health. According to Roberts, the Dodgers trailed by 5 runs, Devin Williams was pitching effectively for New York, and the chances of a comeback had become extremely small. Rather than continue using Ohtani in a nearly impossible situation, Roberts simply wanted to give another player an opportunity. His explanation sounded reasonable. But concern never completely disappeared. Because Ohtani's recent performance had already begun raising difficult questions. His first inning double showed flashes of his usual brilliance. Yet the long ball had suddenly disappeared. Since hitting his 22nd home run on July 12, Ohtani had gone 9 straight games without leaving the yard. For most players, that wouldn't attract much attention. For Shohei Ohtani, it became headline news. His standards are simply different. During the second half of the season, he collected only 7 hits in 38 at-bats. Every extra base hit during that stretch was a double. The explosive home run power that usually defines his offense had gone strangely quiet. His batting average also slipped to .282. Still an excellent number by major league standards. But noticeably below the extraordinary level fans have come to expect from one of baseball's most complete players. Even more concerning than the statistics was the quality of his contact. Dave Roberts admitted the coaching staff still hadn't identified the exact reason behind Ohtani's offensive slowdown. The manager explained that since the All-Star break, Ohtani simply hadn't been making the same clean, powerful contact. His exit velocity had declined. The baseball wasn't jumping off his bat with the same authority. His batted ball profile looked noticeably different. Those signs suggested something deeper than simple bad luck. Perhaps timing. Perhaps mechanics. Perhaps balance.